Are you looking forward to this one? I mean, would you have did it matter who you played, and are you now looking forward to another chance at the Dodgers?
Yeah, you always want a rematch of last year. We were rooting for the Dodgers last night, more for a personal reason because now I get to watch him play baseball this weekend. He wasn't going to San Francisco with me, so now I get to see him a couple more days. So my household was rooting for the Dodgers, but now since we get him, you want to beat the best, and they're obviously the defending champs, and they got a great team, so it's going to be a good test for us.
Freddie, you just mentioned you want to. I mean, you guys saw him in 18.
Yep.
You see him last year. How much do you think the familiarity is going to play?
It helps. I mean, we've seen Buehler, Urias, Gonsolin, Scherzer, so much, and especially with their relief core in their lineup. So there's going to be no surprises. So I think they're familiar with us, and we're familiar with them. So I think it's just going to be another good series, just like it was last year.
Charlie, what challenge? Or Charlie.
It's all right. He's right in front of you. My middle name's Charles, so it's all right. Yeah, I know.
Freddie,
Yeah.
What challenges does it present facing a Dodgers team that you're very familiar with?
I don't think there's any added challenges. There's up and down their rotation, their pitching staff, their relievers, their lineup. It's just so good. It already comes with a big challenge facing that team. Maybe I think we heard Scherzer might be pitching game one, so maybe he may be a little tired from pitching yesterday. Who knows? Probably not, knowing Max. But I don't think there's added challenges. I think it's just two good teams going to be going at it, and I really think it's going to come down to 6-7 games again. So when you can stack up Scherzer, Urias, and Buehler against Charlie, Max, and Ian, and they might have more name recognition than our guys, but they're still, I think, even. So I think it's going to be kind of like the Brewers series. It's not going to be a lot of runs scored. I think it's going to be whoever gets that one big hit in that game that's going to change each and every game.
Freddie, a lot's made of the Dodgers have that formidable bullpen that's really deep and nasty. Yeah. But how about how much your bullpen is rounded into shape down the stretch, especially your 3 or 4 guys that you count on a lot?
Yeah, everyone knows their roles, and I think that took shape in the last month and a half. I think Luke and Tyler might flip-flop here and there depending on who's coming up in the 7th or 8th inning, but you feel pretty comfortable and confident when that gate opens, and you got Luke running in, Tyler, Will has been great. Watching Blake trying to pitch on TV is not fun, and it's even more not fun facing him. So we got some guys that are nasty too. So I think it's just, I really think things are even in my mind with team against team. So I think it's really going to come down to that one big hit in each and every game. But our relievers have been great. I mean, 6 innings, and you still got to count on 3 guys to be perfect in the playoffs. That's a lot to ask for, and they've been doing it so far.
With little ones around your house, I know 12:30 in the morning might be pretty late to be watching a game. But
he was up.
I was wondering if you stuck around at the end of that game, and when you saw Scherzer come in, did you think?
Well, I kind of figured someone like that was coming in the game because Jansen came in the 8th and Trinan came in the 7th. So I was like, is Kenley going 2 innings? And then they showed Max warming up. I was like, that's the guy. I mean, I don't think anybody else would want anybody else other than Max in that game. He's a bulldog. We've been facing him for years, and that he painted a up and away cutter, and he just had some good stuff going. And he's going to come back, I bet, tomorrow and pitch against us, and he's going to be Max Scherzer. So we're going to hopefully be familiar with what he has and get a couple of runs off him.
Freddie, we all know what was supposed to happen after the 2017 season with Snit. Would you have 4 consecutive division titles and 2 consecutive trips to the NLCS had Snit been gone?
That's a tough question. I mean, I think everyone knows what was going on in 17, but Snit, in my mind, deserves everything that's happening to him right now. We love that man, and he loves us. And the success that we've had is because of him. He is the same person every single day, and when you have to manage 25 to 26 personalities and sometimes 40 plus coaching staffs, he's just a people's person. So in our minds, he is the perfect man for that job, leading this team. I mean, everyone's going to scrutinize a decision every day. It comes with the territory, you know. But when there are so much things that are outside those lines, that he is the perfect man for this job, and we love Snit in that room. So I'm glad we're getting some success, and he's deserving of every single award he gets. The Manager of the Year a couple of years ago. So this is I'm just happy for him. I really am. This is nothing better can happen to this. So hopefully we can get to the World Series and win this thing for him.
Freddie, you've seen a lot of Trey Turner. Now,
Too much.
Yeah, he's done some damage to you guys, and now that he's there, I mean, just what does he bring to them?
Well, I don't think the Dodgers even needed Trey Turner, to be honest, and then they went and got him. And you know, when I think he's lining up in the 3 spot for them, and you're going Mookie, Corey, and Trey, and then coming back with Will Smith, Justin Turner. It just, I mean, they didn't need Trey Turner, and but they went and got him. And I mean, their lineup, that team, him just making it. I'm glad he's getting the recognition because he's been one of the best shortstops in the game the last few years. We've unfortunately had to witness it 19 times a year, and he seems to get about 35 to 40 hits against us, it feels like. And I'm glad he's over there now, so we only have to face him like 6 times next year. But he's just a really good player. I mean, if that ball's on the ground, you better get going. And he can create mistakes on the base pass. He can hit the ball at the ballpark. He's playing second for them. But he's a really good shortstop. He's just a really good player, and they really got a good one over there.
Freddie, Snit talked a couple days ago about what his relationship with Bobby has been like these last few years. And I was wondering what your relationship has been like with Bobby, especially since the stroke.
Yeah, I haven't seen Bobby. The most I've seen him is when he's came to a game or two and sat in a suite, and I haven't really seen much of him at all. But Snit always tells me when he goes and visits with him. You know, Bobby and I had a really good relationship, and going forward in the back until he had his stroke. We haven't seen much of him, but we get the updates from Snit, and we hear he's doing pretty well. So we know he's watching every game, and I'm sure he has his cleats on, and he's managing right there on TV. So we know we got a good one watching us.
Freddie, speaking of Snit and how much you guys love him, what the loyalty that he shows to you guys, especially I'm thinking Will Smith this year when he could have caved, and a lot of us were saying he needed to switch closers. He didn't. Did that surprise you at all? And does that say a lot about Snit and the loyalty he has for his players?
It didn't surprise us at all that he wasn't going to change. We have a lot of confidence in Will Smith. It's a 162-game season. You can't manage over 2 weeks of a season. It's like if I go 1 for 20, you're going to bench me for a week. It's just like that's what happens during a season. That's why you can't have a quick hook sometimes, and you got to let things play out, run its course. And Snit did that, and look at Will now. So. That's the difference between being in that office. You know how hard it is to do that, and you got to manage people. And we have all the confidence in Will. We just knew he'd get it figured out. I mean, he had like a 3.6, but he was striking out like 80, 85 guys over 60 innings. He still had great stuff. So, you know, I mean, I thought I heard his dad say he was giving me heart attacks or something like that a couple days ago. So. But as long as he gets 3 outs and gets the save, we don't care how it happens.
Freddie, we talked with Max about just this process of this season as opposed to last year, the protocols, everything. I mean, just how much better was it to be able to actually have the off days, be able to go out and do different things, and actually be able to have the mindset of it's one of 162 and not one of 60 plus? Yeah,
that was nice. I mean, obviously at the beginning we were still having some protocols we had to deal with until we got the 85% vaccinated, and we got that pretty early on. So that was nice. It's nice to see you guys. You know, not having to see you guys in person again, not just on Zooms. You guys can tell a little bit more of a better story when we can see you guys in person. So it's been nice. It's been nice to be able to go to a restaurant, you know, and de-stress and not kind of think about things. And, you know, 60-game season, it was a sprint. You had to get going real fast, and luckily we didn't have a 60-game season this year. We wouldn't be talking to you guys right now in mid-October. So we're glad it was 162 this year, but it's been nice that things are getting a little bit back to normal as the season went on.
And kind of going off of that, just how nice is it to have home field advantage for this NLCS, and how big is that?
Yeah, that's huge. having game one in front of our fans on a weekend. We saw how they came out on 1 o'clock on a Monday, and now we're going to get them at Saturday night. So it's going to be so exciting. It's been 2 years for a lot of, we didn't get to play the NLCS in front of them last year, so now we get to, it's going to be rocking. We can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm glad game one's in front of them.